I was even thinking about it earlier because now that I'm watching that, I kind of want to watch. I haven't started it yet, but I've heard nothing but great things about X-Men '97, how they rebooted that. And one thing I started to think about was my mom always used to tell me that when she was pregnant with me, she would watch the original X-Men cartoon back in like '96. And in my head, I was like, maybe that's low-key why I like the superhero shit so much. I was like in there like...
fucking it got in there, bro.
And I'm just there like, yeah, like... Hi. Hey, there you go. Sometimes
Hello.
It's just the easy ones.
Hi.
Just
hello.
Sometimes you just gotta say hey.
All you need is an intro. They paid on Fiverr and they asked for an intro.
Exactly.
Hey.
Welcome to the Joystick Show, episode 206.
Woo!
We're Jerry-less this week because
Yeah.
homie decided he wanted to go and be sick, but that's on him. You know. Hope
Very
it gets
true.
better. In actuality, he's actually a member of SEAL Team 4, and he's currently stationed in North Korea. We're allowed to say this, right?
I think so. I think nothing will happen to Jerry.
It's classified circa 2013, but we're a little past that.
Got you.
Okay.
Speaking of Jerry, I want to bring him up in a moment, but before I bring
Okay.
Jerry up, make sure to go ahead and like this episode of the Joystick Show.
Yeah, do it.
Even though it hasn't started yet, but promise it's going to be great.
It's going to be likable.
Go ahead and subscribe. Please subscribe. You should subscribe. Think about subscribing. Cool.
So
If you want to know what we're talking about today, there you go. Right there.
Oh, wow.
I was going to make a sound effect, but there is a sound effect, so I have to stop doing that. You know, stop it.
Okay.
Stop it. Okay.
Yeah, it should be a really wet slap, you know, like if you threw slime against the
I'd
wall.
like to think we have a good track record of nice, you know, tasteful sound effects.
Oh, it's gonna be
Yeah.
tasty.
I'd rather not use
It's gonna be real tasty.
use moist sound effects. Also, real quick, just to bring it up, I meant to mention this off podcast, but I wish to continue my streaming efforts pretty soon. Just streaming myself doing some like platinum runs of games and whatnot.
Yeah, dope.
And to announce my return to streaming, I want to film an advertisement that is a parody of the old Dos Equis commercials, the most interesting man alive, except I want to be the most interesting gamer alive.
Oh wow.
And I want it to just be me in all like these ridiculous, like larger than life gaming situations with like a sick narrator over it and everything. But the reason I bring up Jerry is because I want one of them to be like, he once beat President Barack Obama in Super Smash Brothers. We just film like Jerry from behind the back in a suit and like paparazzi flashes. Like we could sell that, you know? Just zoom in on the pin, the fucking...
Oh my god,
that's fucking hysterical,
Exactly.
bro.
And
I
it
love
ends-
that.
It ends with me like dressed like the most interesting, you know, man. And I'm just like, I don't always play games, but when I do, it's on Twitch.
Oh
And then,
shit.
has the fucking ding. It's gonna be great. Don't
Perfect.
worry. The point
It's
is,
just MIDI Twitter thing.
it's
you know.
actually my whole genius plot to employ Jerry to play Barack Obama.
Oh okay.
The role he was
okay.
destined to play.
I mean, we could get him in other things too, you know.
maybe that's just a running joke on the channel.
I feel like it would also work as like a shadow, like you only see like him from or like from a distance. It's like, damn, you just broke up with Obama, and you just see like him walking away. You're like, damn, bro.
Like we always miss him.
Yeah.
Like, he's right there.
He was
you ever
right
notice
there.
we never have Jerry and Barack Obama in the
same
room?
place.
What's up with that?
Yeah, I noticed that. Like the day that Osama bin Laden died,
right.
you didn't see Jerry for like a few days.
Yeah, he was-
Jerry said that he was very sad and he wanted to
Either
hide in
that
his
or
room.
Jerry's like a really big Obama fan.
Jerry, I've never been
And
on
that's
a
why he's
plane
like-
before they had
That's why he's
moved.
so successful too. He has like a
Yeah.
good paying job. It's because he's like motivated by Obama.
Yeah.
You know, hope and change and hope.
Gotcha. Yes, we can.
Yes, we fucking can.
If you tuned into last episode of the Joystick Show, we interestingly had a nice conversation about theme parks and the Fast Pass system. And then one of our members here at Joystick went to a certain theme park and got to experience it firsthand. So here to explain his wonderful time at Six Flags
I don't know
Great
why you're a
Adventure.
late night fucking host, but
It's good though, right? We're gonna
Bring
swing
it up.
We're gonna swing it on over to our amusement park correspondent, Joseph Ortega. Do you want
Oh
this?
my-
I'll fucking put a theme song too. If I-
Yeah, so Six Flags Great Adventure, not that great of an adventure if you ask me, boss.
wow,
you really sold that
You're
shit.
a fucking actor, bro.
Oh my gosh, it was the day started. We woke up early because Six Flags Great Adventure from where we live is like a 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
So we woke up early, got some breakfast on the go, and drove out to Six Flags because not only did we pay for the express pass for the haunted houses for their Fright Fest, we paid for the early access, which allows you to be in the park before Fright Fest starts.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like a little extra. It was like, hey, and if you want to like enjoy the park before the event starts, you could for this price.
Mm-hmm.
So we got there and we got on our tickets. It says to make sure to go to a Halloween Horror Nights booth before 6 to get your wristband. So we know that you're a Fast Pass user for those houses.
Mm-hmm.
So we got there. We went on a few rides on our way to the nearest booth that they showed on the Halloween nap. And Six Flags rides are, they're still enjoyable and everything. But then we got to a Halloween booth and we asked about the wristbands. And they were saying, oh, there's no wristbands tonight. And we were like, hold up. So like, well, we paid extra.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, tonight is actually free because it's a preview night. And there's only 2 haunted houses out of the 9 that you came here to see. And I was like, what? Like, what? Like, my family and I, me, my sister, my girlfriend, and my dad, we all paid money, like, for the more expensive reason why we're here. And they're just like, yeah, it's not happening today.
Also, to jump in, Joey was really trying to sell us on going to this fucking this Fright Fest. And for what it's worth, like, you made a great point. The roster of haunted houses that they had really rivaled what Universal did last year with like the amount of like different properties that they were advertising. So it was advertised to look cool. So I think it's also funny that this is now the second time Joey's been conned by an event like this, only to show up and then have it be ruined. First it was a dust storm in Las Vegas, and now it's just poor management in New Jersey.
Poor management. Oh my gosh, like.
Did you get refunded?
We went to customer service once we found this out, and there was this young girl that she was just like, hello, how is it? And we were like, hey, we got the express pass for the haunted house and we found it was preview night. We just want to know about if we can get a refund or something or a comp ticket. And they said, well, here at Six Flags, we have a no refund policy. And if you want to file a complaint, you could send a complaint at our website. You can send an email and they can get back to you. And then my dad was like, wait, get back to us when? Mm-hmm. We bought tickets for an event that was supposed to happen tonight, so I can just email someone and they get back to me 3 weeks from now when the event's over, and like they can't help me anymore. He was like, there has to be someone here to help. So she immediately got up and got another guy who looked just as young, if not younger. Mm-hmm. He's like, hey, sir, how can I help you? And we're like, look, and my dad, I think, was so angry.
Get to know Siri at apple.com.
Fucking Siri, we don't need your help.
Okay, Siri.
Didn't know Siri worked at Six Flags.
Siri yes. Oh my god. But my dad was getting so upset that I feel like he was calling the haunted houses rides, and he was calling some things experiences, and I was getting nervous because I was like, Dad, make sure you say the right thing because they're gonna clearly flip the script on you and be like, sir, all the rides are open. What are you talking about? But thankfully that didn't happen, and they were like, listen, when did you buy your ticket? Did you buy your ticket this week? And we were like, no, we bought it. Look on the ticket. And on the ticket, it says September 3rd. And just last week, they updated their website to announce that this is a preview weekend. Mm-hmm. So they fucked up on their part. They messed up. And we were like, we wouldn't want a compensation. We want to come back to the park. And we're like that. And they were like, all right, go to the front gate, and we're give you a ticket to return.
Yeah, damn right.
And I was like, shit, yeah. And then we were like, should we stay for Fright Fest? And he said, fuck yeah, we're here for today and we'll come back again the next time. Mm-hmm. So that was that. We did all the performances there and they were all great. Like there were some really good shows. There was a circus show with like acrobats and stuff. Mm-hmm. And one of my favorite shows was called Blade Drummer, where these guys came out and there was like a four full drum sets and they were all playing different like very iconic rock songs with heavy drums. And then out of nowhere, these 2 guys come out with knives, and they just start playing the knives on cutting boards like a drum, and they're like clacking it together, and it was cool. Like really dope. Drummers. I was like, that was really dope. That's just in unison and the sounds of the clinking, and then there was like a fire twirler. Like it was just a bunch of shit going on.
Like the circus showed up. They sent their best men, bro. Yeah. I feel like Halloween time, they go like the Halloween, like you know how like you graduate and it's normally summer in like clown school. You graduate in October, like September, October. Like, get the fuck out there.
Get out there now. We're doing this.
Your internship is now, buddy.
But yeah, man, Six Flags. I was telling on the chat. I said it's kind of crazy how Six Flags used to be my go-to park as a teenager. Like at one point, my family and I were like season pass holders, and then we never did shit like that. But it was sad to see after so many years, I returned back to Six Flags to see where it was, the state it was in, and it's in shambles. Like I was like at night when everyone started to realize, wait, there's only 2 out of the 9 houses. Like what the hell? No one emailed us. No one told us. Like those who just assumed that they were all going to be here without looking at the website didn't know. So there was just a lot of frustrated people, and we were looking around. We ended up staying to do one of the haunted houses, their original house. And the guy next to us was like, it's a shame because this is their 50th anniversary. And my dad was like, what? It's the 50th anniversary and it's in like this state? Like things should have been planned ahead. And he was like, Joey, when did they announce these houses? And I looked up, they announced them August 23rd. And he says, so why is it now like close to the end of September and they're still waiting for permits by the state to make these haunted houses? And I was like, are they even made? And everyone like online was like we don't freaking know.
Listen, I don't claim to be a theme park professional, but I have Platinum Thrillville. So I feel like they need me to step in and set all this straight.
To go in and flirt with all the guests.
I got to put some money into research so that we can learn about these new rides, and that's a big part of it. You can't forget to fund the research, Dylan. Always fund the research.
Yeah, I don't think that's the same thing.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing.
No, man. It then made me think like, is Six Flags management team just a bunch of teenagers? Because I started to realize everyone that worked there was legit no younger than like 23.
So
like
yeah, well, firstly, Joey, yes, theme parks and ride operators, all of them are 25 or younger. A lot of times it's a summer job, and now it's like,
why did I always feel like it was just a mix of people?
Yeah. I feel like back in the day you did see like this guy, he worked here 37 years.
Yeah,
he runs the
he says the voice in the same way.
He sends the carousel, you know what I mean? But now I feel like it's all, they just run on the backs of like minimum wage, especially if they're under 18, you can pay them less. So
yeah, they're all teenagers, bro. Like I was on this new ride at Six Flags called the Medusa. Sorry to cut you off, but like
You're not coming up.
this girl was legit flirting with her coworker in the microphone with everyone getting on the ride. Like I'm waiting online with my girlfriend, and she's like, all right, make sure your hands up. Tyler, stop. Oh my God. All right, make sure your hands and feet are in the ride at all times.
Oh, Rebecca sounds great. I don't know.
And she's like, I never noticed your eyes before. Are they always green? Oh my gosh. Like, and I'm like, oh my God. I've never heard this before. It made me feel mad old.
She's about to hawk to it. She shot her shot.
Bro, like we were on the ride and she was still talking to Tyler, and they locked us up. And as we were going on, I looked over to my girlfriend and said loudly for the other people to hear, I was like, so Tyler's trying really hard to smash, right? Like Tyler's trying really hard right now.
I just like how Joe's on a first name basis with these ride
Yeah,
operators.
Joey knows.
I know all of them
He's
now.
like, they fucking owe me
She
something,
tried
bro.
singing too. She was like, all right, everyone, listen to me sing. And then she started singing.
What the bro? What is this?
That's
bro?
what I'm saying. I was like,
you
bro,
paid a lot of money for that nonsense, bro. That's crazy.
Oh, that's funny. Man.
And also with the whole ticket thing, they just did not plan that shit well. I think it was just like they didn't take it off or whatever.
Like what Bob said earlier, these were like big haunted house names. Like these are like haunted house names, movie names that Universal would do.
I have a sneaking a suspicion that it's not gonna pay off, and they're gonna have a bunch of half-assed, like if they have like any
I'm more
themed,
than sure it's half-assed. I'm more than sure that these big names are like
it's not
very
gonna be
short.
like they're not gonna spend days building
But
sets
hey,
and shit.
Get a churro, get a Slurpee, make a day out of it.
I'll make a day out of it.
Yeah. Or rather, make a night out of it. Look at that.
One last thing before we leave this segment, I want to go back to that Medusa ride, because there was these group of boys. There was 4 of them, and they wanted to fit in one row. So they were all like, all right, let's go. Yeah. The gate opens, everyone gets off, but the last guy at the end of the row, he's still standing. He's sitting there. He never got up. And I think he put like the seat back on. And then the kids go on, and they're all like 9, and they don't know what to do, because like here's a grown man that didn't move from the spot, and they're like, okay, let's just go back. And then they couldn't go back. And then like more and more people are getting on the ride, and they don't know what to do. And then the guy goes and yells, what's the hold up? Yo, what's the hold up? And he was like, there's not enough seats. And he was like, all right, so then your friend will have to go on the next ride. And I felt bad. I spoke up for them because they were struggling. I was said, no, I think that guy, he didn't get off the ride. And he was like, he didn't? And then someone else was like, no, he didn't get off the ride. So they go over to him, and they're like, excuse me, sir. And he's just staring blank-faced. And they're like, sir, sir. And he was like, and he tells the boys, I'm going to have to put 3 of you, but don't worry, you go on the next ride. I'll make sure whatever seat you want. They put him back on the ride, and it's like, all right, passengers, keep your hands. And he slowly goes like this. And I look over to Nicole, and I was like, I don't think why did they send this man back? Why did they put this poor man back on the ride? He looks traumatized.
Oh my God.
So then it's like, here we go. And I was like,
was it like a miscommunication? Like he was on the ride, like in shock, like he couldn't get off, but they were like, he apparently wants to go back on.
I think they realized that there was some sort of disability, and then they were just like, you know what, let's just put him on again. You know.
So do you want to go back to see if he's still on the ride?
That's what I'm wondering. Because unfortunately, we were the next people to go on. So when we got off the ride, he would have been already off. But I was so curious to see the interaction of them trying to get him off the ride again.
Gotcha.
Because it was like a bunch of teenagers that literally saw a man that was in need of like, I need to get away from the coaster. They legit saw him and they're like, fuck it, put him on again. You know, do it. Let's see what happens.
That's some torture, bro.
Word. Tyler, stop. Oh my God.
Fucking Dylan also went on a road trip. I'm excited to hear about this.
So I have been out of New York City since Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
I've been out. Thursday night.
Chilling. We're vibing.
Bro, the basement actually is a mongoose infestation. I don't know if you guys knew.
The ball falls.
Yeah.
What ball?
I know. I mean, some balls fell this weekend. I can tell you that.
Okay.
So Thursday night we slept upstate. We stayed at a hotel. The wedding block only had one night, but we stayed 2.
Who's they? Like, I have no idea what this trip was.
Okay, yeah. So me and Marianthi went to my cousin's wedding. My cousin Danny
Congrats,
got
Danny.
married. So that's to Danny and Laura Croft.
Yo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Her name's
Sound
Laura
good.
though, so she's Laura.
No,
Croft.
it's Lara Croft.
Yeah. Great, good wedding. You know, they didn't have a lot of
Polygonal.
options, but what they did have fucking slapped. You know, it went well. We had like his name was like the Spunky Guido or something like that.
Oh my
Or
Lord.
like Guinea something. He had like a white tee. He was the
Okay.
DJ.
That's crazy.
And a white hat. Crazy, bro. But the DJ wasn't that good. I went to basically my fiance's sister, her fiance. Mitchell. It was his bachelor party. So I've been in a group chat for like a month plus. We've been planning this shit to go up to Lake George.
Ooh.
Rented out like a log cabin hunting ground. That's basically what it was, but it was really nice. It was really cool. It's really interesting to hang out with the boys, but they're not your boys. They're someone else's boys.
Yeah.
And even then, it was like his a lot of the people generated from his brother-in-law, and it was like a mixture of his friends and his brother-in-law friends. And it was kind of like just us all together, 7 of us. It was actually a really fucking fun time. I was the youngest. Everyone was like 31 to 35. You know, that's not my demographic, but I fucking killed it. It was a lot of fun.
No, it was really funny. Dylan sent us the picture, and I showed it to my mom, and I was like, why does he look so out of place? Like, I couldn't put my finger on it.
because they're
It's
old.
like,
Yeah, they're
it's
older.
like you're all white guys, but there's just Dylan, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, they're also
it doesn't
like
look like Dylan belongs
they're also like
there.
Long Island white guys, so
Yeah.
I understand why I don't fit in. These are guys that are several years older than me. Half of them live in like Suffolk County now, you know. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Lake George in September, it's not as like summery or whatever, but it's a fun time.
What'd you do?
Oh yeah, I mean we kind of just got drunk at the cabin half the time. I came up because they were up there since Friday afternoon. I got up there Saturday morning, probably Saturday around like 11 o'clock noon. They were already playing beer pong
Fire.
at like 11:30 in the morning.
Getting it started nice and early.
Getting started. Everything was started nice and early, and we slept late. So you know,
Man, when's
good
the,
trip.
When's the Joystick team building?
The boys trip needs to happen because it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of money,
Yeah.
but it's a lot of fun.
I'm planning like a weekend getaway to the Poconos with Mildred, hopefully for like December, because she's never really like been to the Poconos, and I'm trying to fight her on letting us go at least have one meal at the East Gourmet Buffet. Dylan knows what I'm talking about here. It's like a rite of passage.
I would get lunch at East Gourmet and then
That's
have
what
a
I'm
nice dinner.
saying.
No, I would get lunch at you get lunch at East Gourmet and then there's this really actually a pretty nice restaurant. It's like on like a lake or whatever. I went with Marianthi.
No, I know
like,
some good like eating spots,
Yeah.
but like she just doesn't understand how much this one Chinese buffet means to me. You know,
Oh.
it's like I know you can go to a Chinese buffet anywhere, but this specific buffet It's the food. It's the story. It's just
great.
I have to be there.
But yeah, I mean, Lake George, Saturday, we just, after the beer pong, we went to a music festival. Absolute ass.
Cool.
Right?
Ass.
Garbage, right? Very old people, very like kind of like Grateful Dead, but out of tune,
Okay.
We were like, fuck that. Went to a brewery, hung out there, went back, had dinner. Then we went out drinking. We went to the Lake George Beach Club.
Sounds fancy.
Yeah, it was like a boathouse. I forgot their name. I will tell Bobby and you can put their name up. There was a cover band that did almost a 4-hour set.
Holy shit.
No breaks. So instead of playing like all the live, like and it was literally a 1-for-1, not a 1-for-1, but like all of that music was also at the wedding.
Interesting.
So fucking my own worst enemy, Mr. Brightside, Since You've Been Gone.
Damn, they're playing lit at
Burning.
the wedding. That's crazy.
They were playing a lot at that wedding where I was like, I did not fucking.
What the hell is your wedding gonna be like? Jeez.
Yeah. Oh my god, bro. I don't know how it's gonna work.
That's gonna be an interesting wedding.
Like Toro and wine, Hot Mulligan.
Mitchell's wedding in February. Mitchell and George is gonna be the same fucking thing. Because now I realized that they have a band and a DJ, and my wedding's also gonna have the Greek band and the DJ. This shit's gonna be fucking chaos.
Yeah.
Is it 2 hours? 2 hours? Is it like we start with the DJ and then go into the band? Like,
can I bring a bazooki? Like,
bro, Bobby.
Can I pay someone to come and play?
Your calves are gonna fucking hurt.
Gotcha.
Let's go.
All right. You're gonna be
So
fucking.
I have to be ready to do exercise.
Oh, you're gonna learn how to do. You're gonna learn the moves. I have to learn like 4 more dances.
Do you need
guys
to
gotta
learn how to
do-
ride a table and we have to like hold it and go?
No,
like,
that's not Greek.
Oh,
I feel like this is
Yeah.
payback for us adopting Dylan into our Hispanic cultures and making him learn like salsa. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Dylan's like, now you're gonna learn this.
Now you're
I'm
gonna
gonna any of your freaking the Pompeii aunts like make them fucking dance. It's like this is what's happening.
Do this dance.
Yeah, but this band like was they did like rock versions of like pop songs.
Cool.
So they would do like Umbrella by Rihanna.
Okay.
This band was crazy. So their drummer was like kind of just like this fat dude. He kind of looked like me if I let myself go. We have the guitarist who was like the cool guy. He had a mustache, sleeves. The singer was just like some upstate dad. He was like 50, but he could do everything. He could do 70s, 80s, 2000s. There was like a girl. She was like 22, and she did all the female, like the Taylor Swift, the Kelly Clarkson. Yeah, fucking great time.
fire.
Yeah,
Sounds like they have fun.
Sounds like a good.
and
time
everyone
in
got
Lake
fucked
George.
up. Yeah, everyone
Nice.
got drunk.
Happy for you, pal.
I don't know how I'm functioning right now, but
Yeah.
we're doing
You're
it.
doing pretty well.
My body's not breaking down. We're great.
I'm glad.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I got stuff to talk about, but it's not nearly as important. I didn't do anything fun.
Nearly as interesting.
I didn't go anywhere. I didn't go to an amusement
You
park.
weren't on
I
a
didn't go
trip.
to a bachelor party. I just pretty much just existed. That's
Yeah.
really what I
Mhm.
did.
That's what it'd be like.
What I did want to again, what I want to talk about is just mishmash dumb stuff.
Okay.
Found myself on like a subreddit. It actually might have been an Instagram thread. You remember that social media experience is still going on?
Yeah.
I don't know why. Like I still have the app, but I have to turn notifications off. But every now and then, it's like, here's the thread you might be interested in, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I never downloaded.
They
Thread
try to
'cause I didn't
clickbait
wanna-
me, and I'm like, I won't fall for that.
I fall for it once a week.
Okay,
So.
nice.
Damn.
I think the thread was something along the lines of what's something that is made for kids or marketed towards kids. Or wait, let me rephrase that.
Okay.
It's supposed to be the question was something along the lines of what's something that is made for adults, but its marketing feels like it can be geared towards kids and kind of tricks kids into watching it or liking it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
That's
lot
very
of different,
popular.
A lot of different like examples came up. It's funny because a lot of them I remember like Joey talking about with like Has Been Hotel and things like that. But one person made a comment about I believe it's a Danish show that I've never heard of before. You ever heard of a cartoon named John Dillermand?
That sounds.
John Dillermand.
That sounds fucking not only hysterical, but it sounds like something from my dream.
Okay.
Like my dream just made some shit
Wait
up.
till I explain it. It's
Okay.
definitely from Dylan's dreams.
Okay.
Let's see.
So real quick, the guy goes on to explain what the show's about, and in this case, it's the opposite. It's a children's show, so it was made for children in Denmark. But here is the synopsis of John Dillermand. John Dillermand follows its title character,
John Dillermand,
who also happens to be a man with an abnormally large penis.
Nice.
So John Dillermand just walks around with like his fucking 15-foot long penis and uses it for a variety of wacky escapades. You know, he uses it a clothesline and stuff like that. But this is like a children's stop motion claymation show. So I just had to share
nice.
the tale of John Dillermand.
That's fucked up a little bit.
And now that I've explained it, you can see why Dillermand was probably dreaming of John Dillermand, you know. Just
schlong, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which leads me into the other thing that I've been doing, which oddly enough is watching cartoons. I really don't know why. I think part of it was like being sick last week. So I was like, you know, it just brings me back to being in bed watching Price is Right and PBS 13 and shit like that. So
okay.
Decided I was going to watch, it was for Batman Day, which is a holiday that recently passed. I was going to watch a cartoon called The Batman, which is a Batman cartoon that aired on WB Kids in the early 2000s. And despite the fact that I really like Batman and all things comic books, I've actually never really watched this show. Do you remember it? It was like the one where Joker's like black and his dreads, kind of.
That Batman, yeah. I like the art style.
So that's the thing. I'm like still on the fence with the art style a little bit. But to be completely honest, after watching like half of the first season, it's a solid show. It's like really written well. I thought it was super cool. And it's funny because like I came into this part where I was like, I thought I was going to have very, very high ranting reviews for it. But then something happens where I was like, I just don't know how to feel about it. But point is, the show introduces two new original characters that are like detectives, right?
Okay.
One of them is an old childhood friend of Bruce Wayne. And then the other one is like his new Asian female detective partner named Ellen, okay? In the episode where like Bruce is about to confide in his friend Ethan, the detective, that he is Batman, because Ethan, even though he is a detective and he's like pressured to take down the Batman, he kind of believes in what he's doing and thinks that he's like doing good, right? In that same episode, Joker kidnaps him and then like subjects him to physical and psychological torture and essentially turns him into Clayface. And I was like, whoa, that's like a cool spin. I wasn't expecting that. And then there's like a whole new thing where now instead of him being the cool detective, he becomes a villain. And the Asian girl who was once kind of dismissive of Batman ends up becoming like his new partner. And all this to say, like, it's rare when comic shows bring in these new characters and I like them. But I was like, oh, this is dope. I like what they did. So for the whole like first season, you're following, you know, these characters. It's all cool. It's fine and dandy. It's dope. And then I finally finished season 1 and started season 2. And in the first episode of season 2, they bring in Batgirl. So it's kind of like this whole new, like, whoa, now Batman has a sidekick. It's this new element. It's dope. And then when I finished the episode, I was like, where's the chick? Where's Ellen, the detective, right? Instantly Googled it. They wrote her off the show after season 1.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
like, I just don't understand why they took so many good things and then just got rid of it after season 1. All that to say, now I'm kind of
lazy,
like,
bro.
Now I'm kind of like scared going into the rest of the series, feeling like it's not going to be.
Don't
the
like
same.
anything else. Yeah, don't like
Yeah,
anything
No, I
else.
don't like it, bro. That's it. Give up. No,
Remember that character? It's a shame he
but
left out of state.
I will say the first season that I watched surprised me heavily. I was actually kind of mad I didn't watch the show as a kid. But then again, I kind of like the fact that I'm watching it now because I think I can appreciate it a little more with the storylines and what they're doing and whatnot.
I'm gonna be honest, and these might like surprise you and even be like, "What the fuck?" I didn't really get into Batman until Arkham Asylum.
That's fine.
Like I was like, I knew who Batman was, and I would watch the show a little bit as a kid, but low key, I didn't think my attention span was for it. It was.
Why'd
very
you say it with shame?
I don't
You
know,
kinda said
because
it,
most
you were
people
like,
are
oh.
like, "Well, you didn't like Batman as a kid." And I
No.
was like, "No."
No, I don't like
That's
that.
really
fine. I
wasn't.
feel like most kids weren't even into comic book shit as kids. I
Yeah,
feel
back
like
in the day, yeah.
the big thing that changed Batman specifically, in my opinion, was the movies. Batman Begins.
I like the
Dark Knight, all
movies.
that.
Yeah,
that changed a lot of perception with that. And then for Marvel, I mean, obviously Iron Man and the whole MCU stuff just like put superheroes back on the map in general. But yeah, I definitely felt like out of the loop as a kid, being the one weird like student who knew about
all these heroes.
Yeah, it was very. And it's funny because like my dad was into it, and he's technically the one who like got me into it. But even he's like nowhere near into how it was. Just kind of like he started it, and I never stopped. It's just like I watched all the cartoons, I read the stuff online. I
Well,
was
you
like,
had better access to it than our fathers. Our fathers had to like wait Saturday mornings to watch what the X-Men were doing
oh yeah,
each day.
it's like a whole thing.
Now we can like literally there's services like Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon that just played all that shit. And we were
I was even thinking about it earlier because now that I'm watching that, I kind of want to watch. I haven't started it yet, but I've heard nothing but great things about X-Men '97, how they rebooted that. And one thing I started to think about was my mom always used to tell me that when she was pregnant with me, she would watch the original X-Men cartoon back in like '96. And in my head, I was like, maybe that's low key why I like superhero shit so much. I was like in there, like,
fucking it got in there, bro.
and
Like
I'm just there, like,
vibing?
yeah, like just hearing Wolverine snicked, and I'm like, all
That's
right, get me in there, man. That's
amazing.
awesome.
That's so funny, actually.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but yeah, now I'm just in a whole pursuit of watching mainly superhero cartoons, but I'm delving into watching other cartoons that I've missed dearly. I've been watching some Fairly Odd Parents, some
Nice.
SpongeBob,
Nice.
That's good.
some good stuff.
The ones
Lovely.
that Nicole and I pop in together are Chowder and
Hate
Bill-
Chowder.
Chowder is funny.
No.
The Jerry's not here to be on my
He would
side with this
defend
Chowder.
you. He would
right?
defend you hard.
Chowder is
Jerry
funny.
defends you, but no. Most Cartoon Network for me is like a hard sell. I mean, of course, there's the shows I really like, but sometimes
Yeah.
it's like
The only cartoons that I really liked from Cartoon Network, if I'm being honest, were like pre-Chowder and pre-Flapjack. Like,
Okay,
of
yeah.
course, yeah.
Like, Candy, Courage, like the old school stuff, Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Oh, Ed, yeah, it was great.
And then like post that, I feel like the only one I kind of liked was Regular Show. I thought it was just like the stoner comedy that felt like it didn't belong on Cartoon Network, but I dug it. But I never really watched like Adventure Time or
The new Looney
I never
Tunes.
watched The Amazing World of Gumball, although everything I've seen from it is very creative and funny, and they do
Yeah.
some.
I mean,
awesome
even like
stuff with
Steven
that.
Universe was like way too deep.
Yeah.
I like Steven Universe. I watched Steven Universe just to see how progressive Cartoon Network was going to be.
That stuff feels a little too woke for me, if I'm being honest. I'm just
Nice.
like, at some point, I want to just watch a cartoon and not have to deal with all the emotional implications and stuff like that. And
woke
that's not
as
to
in,
say
you mean woke or the emotional implications of the show?
both.
Okay.
Honestly. It's just like at some point, I would just want to be watching a cool cartoon, if that makes sense.
To be honest, how Cartoon Network got away with it is that they're technically not gay. They're just alien rock people, and they don't really specify them women. And their quote unquote love is just dancing with each other that they form a monster. So imagine like every time
What the fuck are we talking
That's
about?
what I'm talking
Wait
about.
a minute.
Bro. That's
Come
what
on,
Bro,
I'm
they
fuck is
form
that?
they form a monster when they dance with each other. They
Yeah.
form a
a
different
gay sex
person.
monster.
That's everyone?
That's what Joey said.
That's everyone, or is that just
Joey
the,
said those
Yeah,
words.
that's,
those
is that
words,
everybody, or is that
verbatim.
just the gays?
That's the rock people, because
The
the whole
rock
show
people,
is
Joey.
about aliens.
Rock people.
There are-
I got you.
Gems.
That's not woke. That's just fucking why.
I don't know. I think that's really what it is.
It's like
for me.
like SpongeBob. It's like, oh, they can't breathe. It's a cartoon. Like they can't breathe underwater. Like
You thought that there's a bigger plot than there has to be.
yeah. I mean, if you're gonna do that, then you gotta be. I don't know. Like even like the only show to do that, and I was like, oh, cool, was like BoJack Horseman, and like even then, that's like
But even then, that's a show that's marketed towards adults.
exactly.
And
I think
not to
that's
say
it. I think that might be it.
This was marketed to kids.
And you also have to keep in mind, and look, what I'm trying to say, and I don't want anybody to hear this and be like, oh, Bobby doesn't want kids around gay shit. No, I don't care about that. I think what I'm trying to say is, I feel like Dylan's looking for evidence now.
No, I missed. I was checking the time we're at.
What I'm saying
easy.
is, Steven Universe is a show that's marketed towards kids. BoJack Horseman is a show that's marketed towards adults. But I feel like when people hear the term adult animation, they immediately think like the Family Guy route, the South Park route, like obscene, stupid. But in actuality, it's just a cartoon made for adults, right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to have themes or ideas
that
that
you can relate to that
as
is
an adult or that you just understand better. And oddly enough, I feel like Steven Universe would have done better if that's the route that it went. But I'm also not going to lie and pretend like it hasn't been one of the most successful cartoons the Cartoon Network made. So it obviously did a bunch of stuff right.
I think it was good.
I guess that's what I'm saying. Like the themes and stuff of the show
Yes.
feel like they should go over kids' heads more than they do. Or maybe maybe it's the fact, or from what I've noticed, the show resonates a lot more with like younger teens than it does kids.
Oh, of course.
So I feel like that's kind of the whole spiel with that. But I also got that vibe from Adventure Time too. Like I didn't get
It had its moments.
like I didn't see little kids when we were growing up watching Adventure Time. I saw like middle school.
Our age.
Like,
It was our
Yeah.
age. We were the middle schoolers watching Adventure
Middle
Time.
school, even high school, you had like the quirky people watching it. Like,
and again, another thing is like when we were kids, there were no shows like that.
Mhm.
I'd argue like the closest things we had were maybe like Hey Arnold was like kind of closer to that.
yeah, but
like-
even then, it wasn't like deep. It was just
Yeah.
kind of like, oh, sometimes they would hit you hard, you know?
It was like
Kid-
one
Stoop, kid
episode.
left to stoop, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like one episode that was like, damn, that felt good. But like Steven Universe has that. And I'm like, it's like
Yeah.
a continuation. It's a story.
That being said, I'm about to say something that's gonna make Joey giddy. I'm interested in watching Over the Garden Wall.
That's a great show.
It's a mini series, you know. I could binge it.
It's
it's
10
easy.
episodes. Each one is like 20 minutes max.
I had it spoiled for me, but it's cool. I'll still
You
go
suck.
into it.
You know, you need to watch it unspoiled.
I mean, I heard the spoiler, but I still don't understand it, so I have to like watch the show.
Yeah.
I'm curious. You want to say a
Understand.
spoiler warning and tell me what it is?
Yeah. Well, okay, sure. Spoiler alert for a very old cartoon. No, it's that they're like from modern day times, right? Like
Mhm.
that's the whole spoiler.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is like I haven't watched the series
To
so that-
understand the.
To understand, okay.
or to get tricked. If that
That's
makes
not
sense.
really a spoiler. All right. Okay. I wouldn't say that's a spoiler because I kind of made that assumption episode 1. I was like, all right, these kids are not in the same universe and they're here.
Also interested in Gravity Falls.
Yeah.
I have the whole DVD collection if you want to watch that.
It looks pretty cool.
Gravity
Mhm.
Falls is a really dope show.
I like how this episode has just evolved into stuff Bobby needs to watch.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah,
Bobby's
word.
plotting his future. He's like, all right, we got Tom and Jerry Fast and the Furious.
I also watched
Got the Looney Tunes
I
cartoon.
watched Agatha all along. I started the first
How was
episode
that?
of that. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot.
I want to watch it.
I think Marvel's making a comeback. I'm
Okay.
happy for it. It makes sense considering it's like it's partially based, but it's also kind of continuing themes from WandaVision, and that was considered like one
Yeah.
of their stronger shows. So I think if they keep this up, I don't think it'll have potential to be better than WandaVision, but I think it could be like right up there with it. It looks
Probably.
it has a pretty cool start. It has a very confusing start. Kind of how WandaVision started. You're like, what the fuck is going on? What's real? What's not
well,
real?
that made it good for me.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
That
I
made
enjoyed
that made it like the best in my opinion
say
because it
if
made it
you-
not superhero.
If you
It
like
made it like
that
something else.
vibe with a little more humor put in, because it's like Catherine Hahn and a villain, but
Mhm.
not so much where it's like all funny, which I like what they did. They didn't. I think Marvel kind of got what people don't like when they just make it like a joke fest over
Oh,
and
okay.
over again.
Yeah.
It just has enough humor to kind of put her in her own place as a character and be like,
Nice.
this is Agatha, this is what she does, and this is the spiel. First episode's pretty confusing, but the end kind of clears things up, and then the second episode is a cool little team building episode, so to speak. But new episode comes
Cool.
out on Wednesday, and I'll talk more about it when that one pops out.
Nice.
Should I be like you and watch it weekly, or should I just wait and watch it?
Because I go the weight route usually.
I think about doing the weighted route lately.
Honestly, like if it's a mini series like this, I don't have either way. Like I've done both. Like I feel like if I really like the show, I'll watch it weekly, and then if I don't,
It's
I'll usually
eventful,
just
yeah.
binge it at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But what I have noticed with Disney Plus Marvel shows is that they usually don't get really good until like the episode 4 mark.
Yep.
Yeah.
And on top of that, just something about the show being out for like Halloween and like October, I kind of want to watch it weekly.
That's
because
true.
it is like it's about witches and it has like whole supernatural
Ooh.
elements.
Close to Halloween. Yeah,
So
the marketing team.
It keeps me in the spirit, and I like
Spoopy.
it. So that there's that part. But yeah,
Spoopy.
I'll talk more as the show goes on, and I'm
Dope.
excited
I like
to see
that.
what comes from it.
Dope.
Speaking of watching things, Bobby, I want to pick your brain. Have you watched Adam Sandler's Love You?
I have not. It's been on my watch
Okay,
list.
I think that we need to stop the podcast right now and watch this
Okay,
shit.
I'm down.
Okay.
When it first started, I wanted to give it like a 3 out of 10
Mm-hmm.
because it is the most like surreal, most Adam Sandler thing, but the most like non-Adam Sandler thing. It's kind of like there's bits within.
Yeah, I've seen him do
Interesting.
stand up before. It's like songs. And,
It's extra meta.
okay.
There's like sometimes 2 or 3 layers of a bit or like a meta thing going on, and you're like, wait a fucking, what's going on? Like I'm used to him, like he does a story and then a one-liner and he goes to a song, then he's a one-liner, then a story.
Yeah.
You know, he's that kind of guy where it's back and forth. There's bits. He's interacting with like the voice announcer, the light guy, the fucking the guests, people in
like
the
Bo Burnham.
crowd.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like kind of like imagine like going on like a ride and then you're involved somehow. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. It's like kind of like weird like that. The music guy. I mean, everyone's involved. It's very
Everyone's
cool.
involved in his show.
I mean, it's also it's directed by one of the Safdies as well, so it's
Oh, that makes sense.
it's good.
Oh,
good.
I gotta check that out.
Mr. Softy.
And Adam Sandler always throws in a sentimental thing where I'm like, God fucking
Yeah.
damn it, Adam, you did it again.
Did he do it for somebody or
Everyone.
everyone?
All I will say is that his last song is an homage to comedy, and I'll leave it at
Because
that.
I know
What a
the
beautiful
last one
song.
was the beautiful tribute to Chris Farley. That one was like
Yes.
really special.
So imagine that, but for every comedian ever.
that's awesome.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Kinda.
I want to
mean,
watch it.
More,
Yeah.
it's
Can't
more.
wait-
We'll watch it,
check
but
it out.
it's more about the ones that inspired Adam.
Okay.
It's very good.
That's cool.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Let's end it there.
That's a wrap.
That is a wrap. But before we
Indeed.
wrap it up, we got to talk about music that we've listened to.
Oh, yeah.
What that segment's called. Why don't you bring it in, Dill?
Oh, yes. So the cover band in Lake George comes through again for the Yam of the Week.
Okay.
Was that where you... Yeah.
You had to introduce what we're
Yes.
doing first. You had to say
The Jam Yam Bam Slam of the Week
There we go.
without
Throw
the
it up.
Joey,
There we
without the
go.
Jerry,
Yeah.
without the Jerry.
the Bam Yam
Minus Jerry.
Slam.
No, the Jam Yam Slam. There we go.
Jam Yam Slam. They did a cover of a 2023-2024 song, so I'm gonna pick "Pink Pony Club" by Chappell Roan.
Whoa.
What the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. This fucking gay icon. She went from like only a couple of thousand listens to top 50 in the world, I think, or top one. Now she's like a top 100 listened to artist in the world. So good for her. Good for Chappell Roan. The song, they did like a rock version of the song. It was really good.
Cool.
Yeah,
Dope.
and it went into what was it, "Real World" by Paramore, something like that. It was good.
Yo, my slam is gonna go to Real Friends album that's not out yet, but this is one of the songs they previewed. It's called "Never Has Become Always" and it's called "Never Has Become Always" by Real Friends. It's a really dope song, and I'm a Real Friends oldie, and when they got their replacement singer, I wasn't really a vibe of their latest album, but this newest album sounds really like it's going post. They're calling it post-hardcore, I think, and it's like, oh, this is bringing Real Friends back. I think it's dope.
Nice. I like that's heavy. I like it.
My fake jam of the week. You know.
Oh my
I do
god.
that a lot, is gonna gonna give a little shout out to a song called "Murdergram Do" by LL Cool J and Eminem.
The fuck?
Yep, just these two 50-year-old rappers is still throwing out heat till this day. So shout outs to them. But in actuality, the jam of the week is going to go to a Teezo touchdown song.
Ooh.
It's going to go to Familiarity. Jesus. that was hard to
Familiarity.
say.
I like Teezo.
Familiarity, yes. It's just a fun, like, indie kind of poppy. I mean, for Teezo, it was interesting, but
Yeah,
I
I
like
like
it
it.
a lot. It's a jam. It's the jam of the week, actually.
Yeah.
I talked about 3 of the 4 things I wanted to talk about. That's pretty good for me.
Nice.
Thanks for watching the Joystick Show, episode 206.
Pretty successful. I mean,
If you
pretty good.
hopped into this episode and you were like, man, I can't wait to see what Jerry's up to this week, sorry. But he'll be back next week, hopefully.
We'll be back, Jerry.
But you know him, still on still SEAL Team 4 in North Korea.
I don't know. Everyone who ever misses a podcast, they have to leave a 5-second clip of like why they were out and be like, "Hey guys, I had the shit." You know, like
Maybe, you know what we should do? We should do like the whole Blues Clues thing where like the here's the mail that never fails, but I like pull out the envelope and when it opens, it's just like a green screen and it's the clip of like Jerry at home.
it's actually a
coughing
book.
into a
It's actually a
handkerchief.
book, and you turn the pages, and one of the pages is an
That'd be
LCD
kinda
screen,
funny. That'd
and
be
the
kinda
LCD
funny.
screen has Jerry.
Yeah. By the way, have you ever seen the meme where it's like it's that whole thing where Steve is like, "Here's the mail," and he opens it, and it's the guy that's like stroking my dick.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Shit kills me every time. If you like this episode of the Joystick Show, make sure to go ahead and like this episode of the Joystick Show. Look at that. And if you want to help
Crazy.
support the boys, you can go ahead and subscribe to Team Joystick for more content by the week. We appreciate y'all tremendously. We hope to bring you guys some spooky Halloween content next month. And from all of us here at Team Joystick, tie your shoes.
Tie your shoes.
Make sure they're tied. Don't go tripping.
Tire shoes.
Tie your shoes.
Tire shoes.
Tire shoes?